I'm Paul Majors. Up next on KARE 11 News at 6. Police in Wade Park look for suspects in the city's first murder in 13 years. We'll have the story. Plus, firefighters determine the cause of a damaging fire at Uptown, and it's not what they originally thought. And the city of Minneapolis accepts the blame in a fatal accident involving a police car. That is tonight's top story. Good evening. 2 months ago, a Minneapolis squad car rammed a vehicle in South Minneapolis, killing 2 men.
Tonight, for the first time, the city admits the officer was in the wrong and plans to pay the victims' families the maximum allowed under state law. The squad car officer, Doug Leiter, was driving. The squad car he was driving slammed into a pickup truck on November 27th. A report concludes the officer ran a stop sign with no emergency lights or sirens. Today, the mayor and others offered apologies to the families of the 2 victims, and KARE 11's Bernie Grace was there.
I don't think we can say I'm sorry enough, but I'm sure that we'll say I'm sorry over and over and over again.
The mayor and other city leaders admitted the city was liable in the deaths of Steve Winkle and Jeff Carlson, and they've offered $300,000 to each of their families.
It's the right thing for the aggrieved families. It's the right thing for the residents of our city who expected us as a council to act with integrity and swiftness, which we believe we've done.
I think they're trying to put me to bed and get rid of me.
Jim Winkler's gathered every police report in this case and scoured them time and again. He points to statements by police officers citing what he says are numerous inconsistencies and contradictions, ranging from having their son's vehicle going the opposite direction that it was, wrong location of the accident, and even wrong color of his son's truck.
Unbelievable sloppy police work. These are the officers that have been trained to protect us, and they can't get the color of a truck right.
Also upsetting to Winkler are apparent contradictions in statements given by the driver of the squad car.
Leiter turned his emergency lights on and slowed down for a stop sign. He then continued into the intersection and heard his partner yell, "Truck."
But Winkle says that flies in the face of other statements found in the accident reconstruction report.
Leiter went through a stop sign with no emergency equipment activated. This officer's lying through his teeth. So if he's lying, I want those lies brought out. I don't want a settlement or anything like that. I want them to say, this officer is covering up. Everybody's covering up. I mean, they can't even get their, 2 people are dead and they can't even get their facts as to what street corner they were on or what color the truck was. What kind of an investigation is this?
Well, all I can say is that the reports speak for themselves and that those reports have been turned over to the county attorney for their review for any criminal activity.
Chief Olson says there's an ongoing internal police review that could lead to disciplinary action.
It could well be that we, frankly, have a good policy. It was just disregarded.
It's a highly unusual move. Just as the police reports are finished in such a tragic accident, the city attorney's office steps up to the plate and offers the payout to the victims' families the maximum amount allowed under state law, $300,000. And it appears attorneys for the victims' families will sign off on this deal if allowed to attach a couple of conditions. In Minneapolis, Bernie Grace, KARE 11 News.
The officer in question is now on desk duty. In the past, he's refused comment on the accident. He was unavailable today.
A St. Cloud man released from prison just weeks ago is back in jail tonight. He's accused of killing his ex-girlfriend. The body of 20-year-old Jermaine Chicana was found in a basement yesterday in Wade Park, just outside of St. Cloud. It's the city's first murder in 13 years, and as KARE 11's Rhonda Kinchlow reports, the murder leaves a 9-month-old baby without his parents.
9-month-old Tate will never again be able to rely on his mother's hands to stand up. 20-year-old Jermaine Chicana was found dead Tuesday afternoon. The prime suspect, a former boyfriend, also Tate's father.
When I heard about what happened, it was a shock.
Friends and family hadn't seen Chicana in the past 7 days, and they were worried. Deborah Johnson Fuller says Chicana spoke with her last summer about an abusive partner.
And he was in jail at that time. And I guess I just didn't realize how strong of a hold he had on her. You know, even through jail, even through prison.
Johnson Fuller says Chicana told her she'd been abused repeatedly by her boyfriend.
And yesterday at 12:30 I got the call.
The news was bad, and it implicated the former boyfriend. Police Chief Ken Dickinson says a call came to the department from the victim's sister.
The suspect called her and told her to have the Wade Park Police Department check the basement of this house, that we would find a body.
The body was found in the basement floor apartment. The victim's boyfriend had been staying in the lower level unit after being released from prison January 20th. The murder of Chatkana is a spiritual loss for the Dakota Indian community of Waite Park. Friends huddled around the victim's mother, who says her pain runs deep since Stearns County authorities have now taken her grandson from her and placed him in temporary foster care. Community members and friends say Chatkana may have felt alone, but since her murder, it's clear she never really was alone. The suspect has not been charged in this case, and here's why. He's currently being investigated for a parole violation. As we said, he was released from prison just 2 weeks ago and was on home monitoring. We don't know how much time he has served for that, but we've learned he was convicted of endangering Chatkana's life in a car wreck. The police chief tells us the suspect will be charged after the parole violation in about a week. And we've also learned just moments ago from the police department that the cause of death is strangulation. Back to you.
Thanks, Rhonda. Rush hour traffic is at a standstill tonight on 494 near the site of a fatal accident in Mendota Heights. It appears a vehicle smashed into a barrier in the median on 494 westbound at Dodd Road. Rescue crews responded around 3 o'clock this afternoon and are still on the scene there. They say one person died. State police are now investigating.
A warning for milk drinkers tonight. Some cartons out there could be contaminated. Land O'Lakes is recalling 10-ounce single servings of 2% milk. The cartons are dated February 10th or 11th with the plant code PLT 27416. Land O'Lakes says the milk could be contaminated with a type of listeria, a bacterial food poisoning that can be fatal to people with a weak immune system. A lawsuit over tainted Malto-Meal cereal has become a class action case. A Hennepin County judge ruled the suit could represent everyone in the U.S. who became sick. The Centers for Disease Control confirmed 211 cases of salmonella last spring, believed to be related to the Minneapolis-based company's cereal.
The city of Minneapolis faces another lawsuit for the deadly holodazzle accident. The suit, filed on behalf of 3 injured victims and a family member, claims the city and the downtown council are responsible. Attorneys say the accident was a result of careless training and supervision of the van driver, Officer Thomas Sawina. Fire investigators say arson is the probable cause for a fire that destroyed an uptown business in December. Authorities believe a man started the fire using trash. He's also being investigated for 2 smaller fires in the uptown area. And excavators have turned up 5 new graves on the campus of St. Cloud State. Archaeologists at the school are digging at that site, believed to be a cemetery for early Minnesota pioneers. It was discovered during construction of the university's new library.
We're going to take a break, but still to come, a creature feature that will make you batty.
And also up next, the continuing search for the Pioneer Press Medallion. We'll tell you why the treasure hunt has turned into a free-for-all.
And I'm Ken Barlow on the backyard. Get ready. Winter's about to make a return visit, but will it last? I'll let you know in just a few minutes.
Coming up in sports, from St. Paul to Hastings to New Hope. The state's top football players sign national tenders. We'll have the story. Plus, it's not just signing day for football stars. Check it out. And the Gopher basketball team needs more than Quincy to win tonight. Stay tuned for sports.
With Paul Majors, Pat Miles, Ken Barlow, and Randy Shaver. You're watching KARE 11 News at 6.
Fortune seekers were hard at work today digging up St. Paul. And what do they have to show for it? Well, as a matter of fact, somebody's got a lot to show for it.
Yeah, we just found out that the medallion has been found. KARE 11's Ken Speak has been over in St. Paul all day long, searching hither and yon. Alas, you had no luck.
I didn't hear you guys, yeah, but I'm assuming you're wanting to come to me. These folks are just kind of standing around stunned at the moment. They hadn't realized it had been found. I hadn't realized it had been found. And we were all ready to show you folks determined to keep searching because they're convinced that, as a matter of fact, some of them still are, convinced that that medallion is hiding beneath the snow here in Conway Park.
Somewhere here, because there's the library, there's the water tower, there's 3M, there's the translucent peak.
Yeah, it's out here somewhere, but might go to the last clue. I don't know. We'll see. I've been out here for the last 3 nights. I'm going on about 4 hours of sleep in the last 2 days.
It's been nuts. Conway Park looks like a battlefield, as if every cubic inch of snow has been moved and moved again. Listen. the sound of shovels, ice choppers, pickaxes, fireplace shovels, trowels, rakes, hose. A few folks get a little extreme sometimes. Some dug up landscaping, some smashed home plate in the ball field. But most just enjoy the experience.
They must just think we're idiots or something. Or, you know, here we got this wrestling governor, and these are the people that voted for him.
The folks who voted for him. There was a kind of frantic feeling throughout, folks wanting that $10,000. Sue Miller and Chris Milanarchik came from Video Update corporate headquarters. Said they were on their lunch hour. And Sue Altman was serving up hot dogs and hot chocolate.
Somebody's got to feed the people. Keep them going, huh?
Keep them going. Yeah, some need food, and some may appear to take a rest from time to time. But most, well, that $10,000 prize just kind of keeps them going.
It'd be horrible if everybody was in the wrong park. The rinks aren't of equal size, so I don't know. Something's not coming together. I have to wait till tonight, but I will be here at 11:30 tonight.
No, she won't. Because if I understand correctly, the folks at the TV station tell me that the medallion was found here in the park, and we got a huge crowd around us now of folks wondering where, who, when, because apparently whoever found it did it very quietly, slipped it away somewhere, and took it down to the Pioneer Press. We're going down to a news conference shortly. We'll tell you more.
Yeah, well, I yelled bingo once, and I didn't have it, so tell them to keep the faith.
The stories about how close they were are just rife out here. There's so many of them.
That's right.
Still ahead, the winter thaw continues.
Ken has a warm forecast coming up, and he'll have details when we come back.
Heart-healthy food.
Ken Barlow joins us now. We had a warm day, but snow on the way, huh?
Fantastically warm. Yeah, as a matter of fact, we get a little mix out here. A little rain, a little snow, a little something for everybody in the family, I guess. But the warm air is just about run its course, at least for the next 24 to 36 hours. And then the warm month of February will continue on and through the weekend. Here's what's happened on this date: 39 degrees. Amazing, the high temperature. Believe it or not, it's in the teens and single numbers from Alexandria to St. Cloud north. That's the kind of cold air headed this way. The winds, by the way, up there also gusting to 35 to 45 miles per hour. That, too, is headed our way. Not much accumulation. You know, we thought there might be a dusting or a half inch or so, but it's kind of raining mixed with some wet snow out here right now. Here's a time lapse from earlier today. We did have some sunshine at times, and we'll look at Doppler first. Okay, that works for me. We've got some scattered rain showers and snow showers all around the station. You can see that's in the middle of the dial there. That's KARE 11. And most of the heavier stuff is to the northwest of the Twin Cities, up, in fact, well to the northwest of the Twin Cities, up toward Crookston and other areas that way, where they did see a half inch to 1 inch of rain and snow mixed. But here, this is the beginning of the end of the warm air. Look at this, 38 degrees and cloudy at the airport, but it's only going to be a temporary end to all the warm stuff that we've had lately. We're going right back into the 30s and even 40s in the extended forecast. The wind chill is 31. The winds are out of the west at 10, and the barometer's on the way up from 29.39. Here's a look at radar now, and you can see a whole mix of junk headed in from the west. Watch what happens, though. A lot of it expanded over Wisconsin. It was snowing like heck at Eau Claire and Wausau earlier. Now that's moving on through. We have this one band of mixed precip to put up with, and then the winds will howl, and the temperature is going to drop like a rock. Here's the forecast overnight tonight. Expect it to turn much colder, turning windy as well. Within the next 2 hours, the winds will begin to pick up actually pretty dramatically. Winds gusting to 35 miles per hour. Temperatures by morning around 10. Tomorrow, the sun will be back, but so will the February air. It'll be like it should be at this time of year, with a high in the low 20s. And then here it comes again. That warming just won't end. 35 on Friday with some drizzle, and then clearing in the afternoon. Saturday looks good. Sunday even better. And if you like that, you'll love Monday and all of next week looking very, very warm. But look to the north. Bemidji 5 below 0. St. Cloud close to 0. Everybody warms a little bit, but typical for this time of year. So a one-day cool down, Paul and Pat, and then it's right back on the right track if you like the warm stuff. It'll be back here on Friday.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Randy Shaver's here now with sports. A lot going on today.
Yeah, Robert Smith named to the Pro Bowl a short time ago. Guess he was vacationing in Anchorage, Alaska, and they had to beg him to come to Honolulu, but I think, I'm just kidding. He's going to replace Barry Sanders. 10 Vikings in the Pro Bowl. That's a record.
Wow.
So,
That's a lot, yeah.
Yeah, very impressive. On to other things. For some high school football seniors, it's the most important day of their young lives, signing day. Today, they back up that verbal commitment with a signature. Minnesota did not produce many Division I players this year, but of the 9 in-state recruits, 6 are staying home, and that includes big-time player Thomas Tupay.
The most sought-after football recruit in Minnesota made it official this afternoon. Johnson High running back Thomas Tupay signed with the Gophers. So the young man who burned St. Paul Conference defenses at a record pace over the past 2 years, 3,700 yards, 51 touchdowns, will officially take his skills to the U of M.
That's like giving a piece of me away. But I guess something good's gonna happen later on. Just gotta wait and be patient. That's it.
Tupay's close friend and neighbor Phil Archer also signed with Minnesota today. In fact, Thomas showed up at Cretin-Durham Hall to watch. Archer will play linebacker at the U. At 6'2", 230, he made 90 tackles, 16 for losses last fall. He's excited about his future.
I'm happy with the decision I made, and I feel it's probably the best decision for me, and I think I'm going to have a lot of fun there.
This was a big day for Dan Nystrom of Cooper High School and his parents. Nystrom signed with the Gophers. Dan is a big-time kicker, and that's what he'll do at the U. He made 2 field goals over 50 yards last fall, but at 5'11", 210, Dan's also an all-around tough athlete. Today is a dream come true.
It's just been fun, you know, it's the hometown kind of thing, and, you know, I love staying around here. I love Minnesota, so it's going to be great playing for the Gophers.
Hastings High School star Ben Utek signed on the dotted line today. He'll play for Glen Mason. He's the only receiver the Gophers signed today. Utek at 6'6", 210 runs a 4.5 40-yard dash. He's one of the better players in the Midwest. The Gophers also landed offensive tackle Anthony DeBruzzi of Stillwater. He's 6'8", 280. He had more than 20 pancake blocks last fall.
Gopher head coach Glen Mason was free to talk about his recruiting class today. Glen is pleased with his in-state players.
As far as I'm concerned, we effectively closed the border. So, you know, we were really excited about that last year because it was the perception was the first time in a long time, and now we've done it again. And I just got done talking to the coaches. I don't want to underestimate that. I want to make sure that we keep the pressure on at all times.
2 other big-name players signed, but with Northwestern, Louis Ayeni, a top running back from state champion Woodbury, and Regis Eller, the son of former Viking great Carl Eller, both signed tenders with the Wildcats. Regis, number 81, they signed with Northwestern today. National Signing Day isn't reserved for just football players either. How about this scene in Burnsville just over an hour ago? 9 of Minnesota's top volleyball players all signing tenders at the same time with 9 different colleges. Lisa Axel, the Buffalo star and the top player in the state, signed with the Gophers. She's the only one of the group to play for the Gophers, but a lot of great talent. They all played for the Northern Lights team out there in Burnsville, and a testament to the outstanding volleyball programs in the state. Switching gears to basketball, the 18th rated Gopher men's basketball team hosts last place Illinois tonight. The Gophers need this win to stay on track for an NCAA berth, and they need more offense than just Quincy Lewis. Against Wisconsin Saturday, he scored 25 points, but Joel Prisbilla, the big guy inside, no points, no rebounds, no blocks. The Gophers need to find a balance to beat the Illini.
People have bad games, you know. I have bad games, everybody have bad games. You know, it's not a time for us to, you know, no one's getting down on nobody. The confidence is still high. You know, people on this team have put up big numbers and will put up big numbers. You know, right now it's just slumping, you know. And we just, you know, we'll have that production. And when we get that and get everybody clicking on the same cylinders, that's when you need to watch out for us.
Game starts at 7 o'clock. We'll have highlights at 10.
Well, he's good, isn't he?
He is a very good player.
Done everything they've ever asked him
But they need more than just him.
Yeah,
Kevin Clark and Joel Prisbilla, Miles Tarver, even the offensive end. They need to step it up.
All right. Up next, a creature feature that you might see crawling out of the woodwork.
But up first, here's a look at closing numbers on Wall Street today, and we'll be right back.
Well, you normally don't see these creatures at this time of year, but thanks to our abnormally warm weather, they've come alive just a little bit early. Nancy Gibson is back with us once again with a couple of buddies.
That's right. They are the big brown bats, and whether you like them or not, they can use your help.
Ouch!
Oh. Now listen, most people think of bats and they think this dread and ick and ooh, and really they should be just delighted to have bats around. I have a bat house in my yard and I just think it's great because it does take care of the mosquitoes. I'm holding
yeah, they've made Minnesota a mosquito-free zone.
We need more bats.
No, I know they eat mosquitoes, and I know they're, but I mean...
We need more.
Sure, they would
All
help.
right.
Yes, I agree.
Now, I am holding...
Out in the bat houses.
Yes. Well, we need more bat houses. I'm holding a little female right here, a little brown bat. Actually, it's a big brown bat, but they're kind of small.
Now, what
actually,
is she
you can
eating?
see. She's eating mealworms. This little girl's name is Sally, and unfortunately, she got the bad end of a tennis racket, and so she's
really?
had her left wing was just amputated, so she cannot go back into the wild. You are holding Oscar.
Yeah, I need to turn this up.
Yeah, you want to turn that up. This
But I
is
need
a
to be
special
careful with it,
bat
don't I?
house. Yeah, just so we don't want Oscar to get loose.
No.
Whoops.
Whoa.
Here.
Least of
Poor
all,
Oscar.
Least of all me.
Yeah,
poor guy
Oscar
is
is
really-
this
There
is
you
a
go, hold that.
special bat house just made for television. That's not normally what they look like with a plexiglass cover on it. But these are the sort of things that I have up in my yard, and you can actually get bat houses and have them put up in your yard. And it takes a couple years, but they will eventually attract bats, and of course that will certainly help with the mosquito problems. Yes, you were noticing earlier the claws
The
they
little
have
hooks
on
they
them.
have on the side,
and
yeah.
that's why they can hang upside down. They do it very, very efficiently.
We should mention the tax form.
Yes, and in
checkup?
fact, if you want more information about bats, contact the DNR. They can give you plans for the bat house. They can tell you if you're having some bat problems, what to do with it. And while you're calling them, talk about the non-game wildlife program.
Time for us to
Yes, but please
finish up. We do
check
want to
off
mention the
tax
checkup right there on the
deductible.
loon. That's for
Right.
that tax deductible, right? For the
Right.
following year, right?
For the following year, and it helps 500 different species in Minnesota. One of them is just the bats.
Thanks, Nancy. We
Great
appreciate
program.
it.
Thanks, Oscar. And
Yeah,
Yes.
Oscar's doing a good job today.
Yes, he's hanging just like he's supposed to.
He's hanging in there.
KARE 11 News and NBC Nightly News. It's a partnership we renew every day.
We work together to bring you the news handled with care. And